We've never seen this before. The sun and the earth's magnetospheres are doing crazy things now that has huge ramifications on events that are happening here on planet Earth. As I had predicted in the psychic forecast prior, particularly the potential for a mega quake, as we explained in the May psychic forecast. So I'll let you know where we're seeing this and what the likely effects are to be. But there's an energy portal opening up which will initiate great change and possible cataclysms on the planet, but it's also creating a golden opportunity for our ascension, as well as our ability to manifest our reality, to manifest our dreams. So I'll explain the events already in motion now in a psychic forecast and what that will initiate in our world, our lives, the next couple of months, as well as how to prepare for the challenges, as well as to take advantage of the gifts that we are receiving, and what will happen as the sun loses its corona and the effects that will have on the earth, particularly a mega quake. So I got to read from my notes. The last couple of days I've been researching a lot with various astrophysicists and solar weathermen. So I've got a lot of stuff here on my notes. So firstly, let's dive into what's happening, why this energy is so powerful, and what it's likely to create. A little bit of astrology. The Sun and Uranus, actually Sunday, they were conjunct at 27 degrees Taurus, which basically can bring about sudden change because of the planet Uranus. Now, the Sun and Uranus conjunct every year, but at 27 degrees, it adds that numerological 9, that Mars influence, to make it very intense. So this catalyzes sudden changes, shaking in the earth, changes in the atmosphere, in the air, changes in the sky, because it's Uranus energy. Where are we? There's a lot of Earth-directed solar energy right now, basically. Also, Mercury and Mars are squaring in Taurus and Leo, so that directs a lot of energy into the Earth. And also, there's lunar alignments. Basically, all these different alignments and intense solar energy that's affecting the Earth now is opening up a new portal, which is a great thing because it raises our frequencies and brings us more opportunity for growth as well as new information. But it affects the conscious fields and it affects the physical earth fields also. So I predicted the possibility of a major earthquake around the Mississippi River in that area, the New Madrid fault to be specific, for May or soon after that. That was in the May psychic forecast. And now science is backing this up. So let me explain a little bit further. Now, we've had some solar flares recently, but one of the largest corona holes has opened up. Live and uncut. Well, I'm filming it live and not cutting it anyway. So anyway, one of the largest corona holes, it's in the southern hemisphere of the sun right now, known as opened up, which keeps getting larger with each rotation. So it takes about 26 days or so for the sun to make a full rotation. And currently, that solar hole, the huge solar hole, has opened up and is beaming energy to Earth. It sends charged plasma fields to the Earth, which enhances the solar wind, creating magnetic storms, solar storms, as well as geomagnetic storms also. So it's affecting the Earth as well. The magnetic streams disrupt the Earth's magnetic field, affecting the atmosphere, but also enhancing movement within the Earth. So we've had strong solar flares recently, coupled with the advent of this round of these solar winds. So we've had some nice auroras, and we've had some radio blackouts, particularly in Europe and Asia, a few days ago, as well as we were having filament ejections from the sun also. So the sun's absolutely going bonkers right now, to make a long story short. And this all energizes the earth field, enhances energies. The sun is really a reflection of the spiritual sun. So new energies, new streams of information become available, enhancing the collective awakening, opening up new gifts collectively as well as personally, but also increases the magnitude of weather events. So we're seeing a lot of severe weather with each passing of this coronal hole, and this stream of energy that's beaming in catalyzes movement within the earth, shaking within the earth that increases volcanic activity as well as earthquake activity, and we've seen a few pretty big earthquakes around the world recently. So this also releases karma. So this higher energy releases stuck karma within our energetic fields and the earth fields, or the lower energies that as they get released, they get expressed as further oppression, further violence and anger that will precipitate shocking social and political events. And I'll dive into more of that aspect in another video. I want to really focus on what's going on with the earth and the potential earthquake, because that is the breaking news that I wanted to get into. So also, releases stuck anger, traumas from the collectives. These lower energies are replaced by higher ones. And heightened frequencies eradicate the foundation, so it eradicates the lower frequencies that these structures, the foundations of these unfair structures of society are built from, and therefore things will fall, more corruption will get exposed, more political financial corruption, all that stuff, the more things are going to turn over and change in our society from now through the summer is huge with that. But back to the potential mega quake that I myself and other psychics have predicted for quite a while. I've been predicting this for quite a while. I'm not the only one, particularly in the new Madrid fault, but we've also talked about California and other fault lines. But now geologists are sounding the alarm as activity has recently increased beneath the surface. And when science and intuition agree, you take it seriously, basically. So the last big earthquake in that region, that was in the early 1800s. I believe that was around a 7.0, 7.2 earthquake, which basically changed the landscape of that area. It made the Mississippi briefly flow backward. It's a big historical event. Created seiches that flooded cities, or basically tidal waves within closed vessels due to the earth shaking creates these seiches. And leveled structures, etc. Now, when I was preparing this, I got the number 6.8, so we may see an earthquake of that magnitude soon in that area. Again, the geologists are warning us of the potential of an eruption, so it's in the scientific realms now. Certainly 6.5, anything 6.5 and above in that region will be utterly devastating. A 6.8 magnitude, you might ask, why is that a megaquake when we've had 9.0s in the planet? Well, basically, for a couple of reasons. Given the bedrock, the density of the bedrock, the relative depth of the earthquake, and all these factors, a 6.8 in that region would be about a 7.5 in California. And you add to that the fact that they're not prepared for earthquakes there. There's no earthquake code in building and stuff like that. So that's why I would consider this a mega quake, even if its strength, its relative seismic strength remains under 7.0. So implications are that it will disrupt supply lines. Bridges over the Mississippi will collapse. Trucks can't get through to deliver goods from the heartland where a lot of our food's grown, as well as California. I'm here on the east coast of the U.S., so we're particularly talking about an East Coast earthquake. By the way, this is going to precipitate other earthquakes around the world. I heard there's a big one in China, and there was one in Myanmar earlier. So it's all really happening. So it will create mass power outages that may take weeks, if not months, to clear. And those of us that are in the Northeast may think that, well, that's pretty far away, but we'll feel the effects here also. And part of the model suggests that as far as the eastern Ohio Valley could experience power outages and effects, strong effects from an earthquake that's, close to 1,000 miles away, basically. So changes in the Mississippi flow, it could reroute the river. That has huge implications on shipping and stuff like that. Also, late May, early June, the potential for a Carrington type event, which is a huge solar storm, a coronal mass ejection, as a sunspot region that's been inactive, rotates and is Earth facing again, but it's due to become active. So that could line up at the end of the May into June. So that's something else to keep heads up for. So now that we've laid the groundwork, what to do? What do we do to stay safe? Things are going to happen. The Earth is changing. It's part of Ascension. Things are going to happen, but it doesn't have to be catastrophe if we are prepared. So what to do? Have supplies, have cash on hand, gasoline, medication for 2 months. Better safe than sorry, but have that for 2 months. Now, also raise your frequency and vibrations. Do more spiritual work as higher frequencies as the higher frequencies are affecting us all, so we can tap into that. And the higher the frequencies are, the more we may be able to mitigate some of the more difficult effects of the Earth's natural settling into these new vibrations, which does include earthquakes and volcanoes going up, especially, as I explained, with the solar hole, the coronal hole, which is literally like the sun losing its corona. I don't think that that's permanent. I mean, if it is, that's going to really change a lot. But I think eventually the solar holes will close up, and the corona around the sun won't go away, won't disappear, just to be clear about that. But raise your frequencies, do more spiritual work, higher frequencies, as higher frequencies are affecting us all. Personal breakthroughs, personal healings can happen in this energy. So do that work, not just from this lifetime, from other lifetimes, as this high energy is releasing karma, and as karma releases, we experience things based on our karma of other lifetimes on a personal as well as a universal conscious level. But in the process, it's releasing, but then it's done, and then we come into a higher vibration. Never have to deal with it again. New spiritual gifts will surface as you do the work. But clear your vessel. That's the main thing. Work on the shadow integration to remove the shadows, to clear suppressed traumas, release baggage, because the old baggage, you can't take that into these new frequencies. It's going to cause too many problems. Start releasing that now, and release the energy blocks that they cause, because if the frequencies increase, and you have obstruction in your fields, it intensifies those obstructions, and it enhances things like ascension symptoms and problems and life and health and stuff like that. So clear your vessel, do work, do breath work. You want your energies to be fluid, not stagnant. You want to be elastic, not rigid. The more you can do that, the more you allow these frequencies to flow through you, the more it helps you to upgrade, and the more you can channel positive energies into the earth. And that's another key. Let's do our work to raise energy, to bring white light, higher energies through us into the earth, to heal the earth, to soften the earth, to soften the blow of any potential earthquakes that come. Now, this is a psychic forecast. Not everything panned out. Timelines are fluid. We can change the timeline. But now that it's being backed by science, we have to start to take this more seriously and do the work. So the more we raise the collective... Raise your vibration, send light healing into the earth, help others to ascend if possible. The more we raise the collective, the less dramatic the earth shifting will be. And no, we have help from our extraterrestrials that are guiding our ascension, because we're in a mass awakening. The angels, spirit, God, or source. We have help from higher sources. The more of us that tap into that, the easier the transition is going to be, and the less that have to suffer. And that's basically what I have. But this is going to lead to a very changeable, dramatic summer. So I've got information for you on the summer psychic forecast right over here. And stay in your heart. As you open your heart, that opens the mind, that opens you more to spirit, and that raises the vibration, and that everything's going to be okay. No matter what happens, we're going to be okay. We'll get through this, and we will ascend. I love you.